Guys, so we're going to be reading a story called The Garden of Happiness, which goes along with our community theme for this week. But before we do that, just like we always do in class, we're going to preview the vocabulary that you're going to see in this story. And that's what this video is going to be. So while I go over the vocabulary, I want you guys to be looking for these words in the story, be listening for them, and maybe even keeping a mental note of every time that you hear them. Because I know that you don't have your book, so you can't circle or underline them like we usually do. So the first word that we're going to be looking for is inhaled. So I want to take a moment to think about that word, inhaled. Think if you can figure out what that means before I talk about it. If I use in the sentence like I inhaled the smell of the flower. So inhaled means that you breathe it in. So think of when you're cooking something and you inhale and you can smell all those things. It means you're breathing it in. All right. So the next word is plots. And plots is one of those words that can have multiple meanings. Like a villain's evil plot to destroy the world. But that's not what this means. In this case, the word plots is like a small piece of land. So like if I say a plot of land, that just means it's like an area that you can build on or plant on. Next up, mural. Some of you might know what this word means. It's an art term, which means that it's used in the world of art. So a mural is actually a large picture that's painted right onto a wall. So you see these a lot of times in like big fancy churches. There might be murals, or in even in museums there might be murals. So it's just someone has gone like right up to the wall like this and they've painted on it, like right on it. Then next up is faded. So faded means that it's lost its freshness, or like the color. Think of a color. If a color fades, it means it's not as bright as it was before. All right? If anybody in your family maybe has a tattoo that fades over time and the colors aren't as bright anymore, or when you do a color picture, the colors on that picture, they fade over time. So you might have drawn it as a really bright pink, colored it as a really bright pink, and then it doesn't end up being a really bright pink anymore after a while. And then the last word that we're going to be looking for in this story is drooped. P-E-D, drooped. So like if I say the flower, imagine my hand's a flower. The flower drooped. That means it's like hanging down. It's like kind of, you see like wilting, it means it's hanging down. So like if I droop my head, it's hanging down. All right, so those are the vocabulary words that I want you to be looking for in the story. I'm going to record the story in a separate video so you can review just the vocabulary and come back to this video if you need to.